Hello everyone, let me introduce our paper, Flow Visualization with Density Control. I will introduce our paper from these four aspects. First, introduction. Fluid simulation is an important research topic in computer graphics. In addition to research of fluid animation, flow visualization also attracts more and more attention. That plays an essential role in analyzing features of flow fields, observing physical phenomena, and verifying physical laws. It should be noted that when generating streamlines, three criteria need to be met, namely consistency, coverage, and continuity. In flow visualization, it remains challenging to flexibly explore local regions in 3D fields and uniformly display the structures of flow fields while preserving key features. To this end, this paper presents a novel method for streamline generation and selection for 2D and 3D flow fields via density control. It can generate uniform streamlines without loss of important structure information. It could also help users understand flow fields in a more flexible manner. For 3D fields, we further provide local density control and density control along any axis for users, which are helpful to explore the fields both globally and locally. Next, I will introduce our method part. The main process of our algorithm includes three models, namely seeding, grid-based filling, and streamline selection. The first model is seeding. In general, flow fields may contain different structure characteristics, and the most important features in different fields usually lie around critical points where the velocity is zero. In a flow field, the direction differences around the critical points are usually larger than others. Therefore, if a flow field contains critical points, they are usually contained in the points with large entropy, which means that these points are likely critical points or near critical points. So we select the points with large entropy as the seed points. Next model is grid-based filling. Due to the blank areas after seeding may not satisfy the criterion of consistency, we perform grid-based filling for 2D and 3D flow fields as follows. First, we divide the flow field into small cells and mark the cells which streamlines go through or are on the border. Second, we detect the blanks and seed in the center of the blank areas. In 2D fields, we calculate the average value of grid coordinates gx and gy in all of the blank grids and assign point gx, gy as the new seed. If the seed does not belong to the blank area, we would first generate two streamlines at that point, which are parallel to horizontal direction and vertical direction. Next, we find two line segments in the blank fields, and then compare the lengths of line segments. Finally, we select the midpoint of the longer segment as the new seed point. In 3D fields, streamlines can now divide the space into several unconnected regions, so we change the stop strategy of searching cells as follows. When a labeled cell is found in one searching direction, we will stop searching in this direction. If the blank area is greater than the defined value, we would use the center point of the area as C to generate streamlines. It is not precise but good enough to fill blanks in a 3D flow field. In practice, the defined value is related to grid resolution and it is usually kept lower than 100. Finally, we would repeat step 1 and step 2 until the size of the blank fields is below a given threshold. Next model is Streamline Selection. The results of streamlines in 2D fields may be too intensive to satisfy users' demands. Meanwhile, the results of 3D visualization may appear severe occlusions. Therefore, we propose the multi-level density display method that uses streamline property to filter streamlines so as to achieve better visual results. We use the average distance from a streamline to its neighboring streamlines to control the density of streamlines. It is difficult to define the uniformity between the streamlines, so we exploited the property ds to control the density by limiting the distance among streamlines, written as this. Where d top, d down, d left, and d right represent the distance among streamlines in the positive direction of x-axis, the negative direction of x-axis, the positive direction of y-axis, and the negative direction of y-axis for 2D fields, respectively. The di is the distance to the closest streamline point on any other streamline along one axis. L line is the length of the streamline and P represents top or down, and Q is left or right. This figure describes an example that calculates the distance in the positive direction of the x-axis. This figure A through E and F through G show the visualization results with grid resolution 250 times 250 and 200 times 200, when the distance threshold is 0.0, 0.4, 0.8, 1.2, and 1.6 respectively. It can be seen that with different distance thresholds, we can get results with different distance, and all of the results meet the three criteria. Besides, it can be seen that for the images with the same parameter in figure, the image with large grid resolution contains more streamlines than that with smaller ones. Parameter is the average distance among streamlines, and it can work well for 3D fields with the special resolution, whose border is a cube. For example, 100 times 100 times 100. But it cannot achieve better results for some resolutions, such as 500 times 500 times 100. Because the density is limited by the shortest direction, the change of the density in other directions could be hardly perceived. In order to achieve more flexible control for understanding, we use three parameters along the XYZ axis, rather than only one parameter in 3D fields as follows. Hange brings small selections for 3D fields. With the three parameters, the user can get more results according to the user's demands that can help understand the flow field more conveniently. The thresholds of the three parameters are delta x, delta y, and delta z respectively. In addition, we could also provide the density control along the axis in an angle. It could be defined by users and could help users to limit the density in this direction. Local density control is another way to explore the flow fields in our method. It means that the size and the location of the control box could be changed to show the hidden structure in the local area. In our experiments, when more than one control boxes are added, we would compute density and set the condition Ck for the case-controlled box that is usually defined as this. These figures are the results with local density control, where the small cube is the region of interest. The first two figures show the results that the logical relation between two control boxes is AND, and the last two figures show the results that the logical relation between two control boxes is OR. Next is our result. The Isabel dataset in our experiment was derived from the IEEVS contest website, whose size is 500 times 500 times 100. And these figures shows the results of 3D visualization in the Isabel dataset, including the output of some times of the parameters. The size is 500 times 500 times 100, and delta L is 5.0, and the grid resolution is 100 times 100 times 20. And the figures A and B show the differences only when the parameter delta Z is different. And figures D and E show the results only when the parameters delta X, delta Z change. And figures C and F display the visualization results by local density control. We use a uniformly resampled version provided by Tina Wakefield. The track dataset shows the flow around a square cylinder and its size is 192 times 64 times 48. And these figures show the results of different densities in track dataset. The grid resolution is 96 times 32 times 24. The different parameters delta x, delta y, delta z, delta L of each figure are shown below the respective figure. Final conclusion and future work. This paper proposed a new flow visualization method via multi-level density control. The new method includes seeding and grid-based filling that can make the lowest level of density results not only contain all the important structures, but also maintain the continuity of the streamlines. The local density control can help users to explore the structure in regions of interest. Although our method is effective, there is still room for improving the rendering width of 3D streamlines. In the future, we will also leverage GPU to accelerate our method. Thanks for listening.